Most people don't quit because they failed. They quit because nothing seems to be happening. They're eating better, they're exercising, they're trying, but the scale isn't moving. Their energy isn't perfect, the body doesn't look different yet, so they assume something must not be working. But what if I told you this exact phase is actually where your body is changing the most? Today, we're talking about the phase of health no one warns you about, the invisible middle. We've been conditioned to believe progress should be obvious. If something is working, we should see it. If we don't see it, it must not be working. This logic makes sense in business, it might make sense in finance, and it even made sense in school, but biology does not operate on visible timelines. Your body isn't a spreadsheet, it's an adaptive system. One of the biggest misunderstandings in health is this. People think fat loss is the first sign of improvement. It almost never is. Your body prioritizes survival repairs before aesthetic changes. That means before you see weight loss, muscle definition, or even physical transformation at all, your physiology is already hard at work behind the scenes. This is a phase where your body is repairing quietly. Nothing dramatic, nothing Instagram worthy, nothing that earns compliments, but internally, the most important changes are happening. Your insulin sensitivity starts improving, your cells begin responding better to nutrients, blood sugar regulation stabilizes, inflammation starts dropping, not dramatically, but steadily. Your mitochondria, the energy generators inside your cells, begin adapting, they become more efficient, they produce energy more reliably. Hormonal signaling stabilizes, cortisol rhythms normalize, hunger signals regulate, satiety cues return. These changes don't show up immediately, and certainly not immediately in the mirror. They show up first in your biology, and biology always changes before appearance does. This is the part no one prepares you for. Psychologically, this phase feels like failure, not because you're failing, but because your brain is wired to expect immediate feedback. Your reward system is designed for short loops. Do an action, get a result, repeat. But health transformation operates on delayed loops. You do the right thing today, and your body may not visibly respond for weeks. That delay creates tension in the brain and an expectation mismatch. You thought progress would be fast, but your biology is moving slowly. Then comparison bias enters. You see someone online who claims they transformed in 14 days. You don't see their genetics, you don't see their starting point, you don't see their editing, their lighting, you don't see their timeline. You just see the result. And your brain says, if it worked for them, why not for me? That's when doubt spikes. Not at the beginning, not at the end, right in the middle. There's a riddle I often think about when I'm working with patients. Maybe you've heard of it before. It's called the lily patch riddle. A patch of lily pads doubles in size every day. If the pond is completely full on day 48, when was it half full? The answer is day 47, which means for the first 47 days, it feels almost like nothing is happening. Then suddenly, it's full. That's exponential growth. And metabolic repair works the same way. For weeks, sometimes months, it can feel like the scale isn't moving, your body doesn't look dramatically different, progress feels really slow. But internally, insulin sensitivity is improving, inflammation is lowering, mitochondria are adapting, hormones are stabilizing. The biology is doubling quietly. The problem isn't the biology, it's the psychology. Because humans expect linear progress. We expect effort to produce visible reward immediately. When it doesn't, the brain interprets the silence as failure. And that's where most people quit. Not at the beginning, in what I call the Metabolic Valley of Despair. The Valley of Despair is a stage where effort is high, visible results are low, so doubt spikes. It's the emotional low point of an exponential curve. Entrepreneurs experience it, athletes experience it, patients restoring metabolic health experience it. This is the moment where people think, maybe this isn't working for me. But biologically, this is often the exact moment the system is actually just reorganizing. Cells are becoming more metabolically flexible, hormonal signals are recalibrating, inflammatory load is decreasing. The foundation is being built, but because the visible reward hasn't arrived yet, the brain wants to abandon the strategy. Most people quit on day 43 of the lily pad example, but the pond fills on day 48. The valley comes right before the upward curve. If you understand that, you stop interpreting this phase as failure. You start recognizing it as construction. And construction is never impressive when it's happening, but it's essential. There's a predictable pattern across behavior change. Most people don't quit at the start. They quit after they've already invested effort. Typical dropout windows look like this: diet programs, weeks 3 through 6, fitness routines, months 2 to 3, structured metabolic programs, months 3 to 4. Why those time points? Because that's when novelty fades, but visible results haven't fully arrived yet. The motivation from starting is gone. The reward from results isn't here yet. That gap is where most people stop. Not because they're incapable, because they misinterpret the phase they're in. They think, this isn't working for me. When the truth is, this is working, just invisibly. It's the despair. But if you understand this phase, everything changes. You stop judging progress by what you see. You start judging progress by what you know is happening internally. You stop asking, why am I stuck? And you start asking, what is stabilizing right now? Because that's what this phase really is. Not stagnation, stabilization. You're not stuck, you're recalibrating. You're not plateaued, you're actually repairing. You're not failing, you're adapting. The invisible middle is not a failure phase. It's the construction phase. And construction is always messy, slow, and unimpressive right before something strong is built. So if you feel like nothing is happening, that might be the strongest sign that something is. If this episode described exactly where you are right now, that means you're not behind, you're in the middle. And that's the phase most people never make it through. So if you want more content that explains what your body is actually doing, not just what it looks like it's doing, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode where I'll show you how to tell when you're about to break